All right, let's wrap out the card here because you had Fiziev versus Bobby Green. Now, for me, if you want to talk about a fighter or you want an identification of what a fighter is, and I don't mean somebody that can throw punches and kicks and understands knees and a double leg takedown. I'm talking about something inside. I'm talking about a mentality of what a fighter is. I submit for you, you need look no further than Bobby Green. Bobby Green is as rough of a dude as you could ever come across. I've seen him take fights on short notice, as have you. And he will not only make weight, he will be in great shape. He will use shape and pace as a weapon to defeat his opponent. He's ready at all times. You never have to get ready if you stay ready. I respect guys that do that. I respect Bobby Green. Now, he goes in there and he fights with Fiziev. Fiziev has won me over, and he and I got off on the wrong foot right from Jump Street because he called out Kevin Lee, which for some reason somehow I was wounded in that. But he has won me over, and he is a stone-cold badass. I bring this fight to you because there was a lot of controversy at the end. I did not know who won that fight. The only round that was clear was round 3, and that went to Bobby Green. I did not know who had won the first 2. And I cannot argue with you after the fact that it went the wrong way. There was one judge who scored it 30-27. That is fiction. That did not happen. Bobby Green for sure won the last round. According to the judges, Fiziev won the first 2. Either way, it was fight of the night. It was one of the great fights of 2021. It should absolutely be considered by the World MMA Awards at the end of the year for fight of the year. They usually bring 5 forward. I'll be stunned if we get 4 better fights than that. It was a display of heart. It was a display of grit. I spoke to one of the judges. Got to remain unnamed. Spoke to one of the judges after the contest. I said, by the way, just so I understand, what was happening in the Bobby Green fight? Because somebody had it 30-27. Maybe the guy that I spoke to. Somebody had it 30-27. What do I need to look for as a viewer more to help me understand and be better at determining who wins these fights before Bruce Buffer gives the announcement? He said, man, the Bobby Green fight was hard because Bobby Green was shaking his head the entire time. No. I said, okay. I don't know what within the interpretation of the unified rules has to do with a guy shaking his head. Tell me more. You have my attention. He goes, he's shaking his head. No. What? No what? No, I don't want to be here. No, I'm not winning. No, that didn't land. No what? And the judge said, he said, no is a negative. No is bad. Bobby was all night long demonstrating something negative. He demonstrated negativity all night. I have to believe him at the end of the round. Really? Now, again, I don't want to get into the unified rules. This is one guy's interpretation, but I'm going to bring it to you all. And that is true. Bobby did shake his head no nonstop. And I don't know what that was about. I've seen a number of fighters do that. They get hit and they say no. I've always thought it means no, that didn't hurt. No, you're not getting credit for that. No, I don't respect that. I always thought it was a bang the chest bravado. I still think I'm right. I think if I had Bobby here right now and said, why in the hell were you shaking your head no after every time you got hit in the face? What would you say? And he would probably say that. No, I was positive for me. But it's not what the judge said. The judge said, I have one athlete who is demonstrating negativity. How could I give him a positive review after the round? You guys do what you want with that. Telling you a story. Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo is a straight up inspiration. He really is. Let me tell you my story with Aldo because I met him for the first time in 2012. He was like 24 years old. He was already the WEC, where I was, and the UFC, where I now am, champion. He already did it. And he had been undefeated for a period of time. That was in 2012. 9 years later, he's still a top 5 guy, co-main eventing pay-per-views in an absolute laser-focused pursuit of a championship. That's an inspiration. Now, the buck stops at Pedro Munoz. Pedro Munoz is not to be messed with. And in many ways, I believed going into this fight, and I bring it to you because you probably thought it too, it was old guard versus new guard. Story never gets old. It's never going to go away. It's going to be around forever, but that's what this was. Well, on further review, they're both 34 years old. But fighter years are a lot like dog years, and in dog years, Jose Aldo was much older than Pedro Munoz. Golly, it didn't seem to matter. It did not seem to matter. And you always want to look at the third round. If you want to know who's ready, who should get the next step, who's who in a division, you look at how they finish. You look at how they finish a contest. Jose Aldo fought all 5 minutes of the third round as though he was losing the first two. I turned and said that to Charlie. I said, hey, Charlie, Jose thinks he's losing. He's trying to stop this guy. I've never seen Jose Aldo's boxing look more crisp, specifically boxing. He's throwing a lot less kicks lately. I don't know if he suffered a leg injury or he's just thinking the squeeze isn't worth the juice, or these 35-pounders are a little faster than 45-pounders. Just noticed as an observation he's throwing less kicks, but my goodness, his boxing, that jab, followed by a cross, back to a jab, 3-beat combos, steps in, leads with a shot to the liver. He is so good. And matchup-wise, I don't know if he can get the opportunity. I do not know that he can get an opportunity to fight for a belt again. But when I see that he's only 34, okay, I thought he was older than that. When I see that he's a top 5 guy, that he's a co-main eventer, that he's beating guys like Pedro Munoz, by the way, closing the fight out the right way, by the way, not losing a single round, it's tough to deny him. And matchup-wise, right, it all depends who he draws. Jose Aldo versus Aljo Sterling is a very different fight than Jose Aldo versus Peter Yan. Jose Aldo versus Corey Sandhagen, where they both want to stand up, but you've got the length versus the power. It's a very different fight than Jose versus TJ, right? It kind of matters who he's going to draw. You want to talk about, can he win a world championship? Hell yes, he can. Does he need some stuff to line up? Hell yes, he does. Yeah, sure. But to deny Jose an opportunity, which is probably the camp I would have been in, you'd probably put me in the bucket of just voting, he's not going to get the chance. He called out TJ Dillashaw. If he gets that fight and beats TJ, we're having a totally different conversation. So what a difference a day makes. And there is nothing wrong with having a goal, putting everything into it, pursuing it with an absolute vengeance. That's what Jose Aldo's doing. Jose Aldo is an inspiration.